You're watching Fox 10 Arizona Morning with Ron Hoon, Rick D'Amico, Andrea Robinson, Kristen Anderson, and Corey McCloskey in HD. Coming up.
We're going to talk to one ad expert to see what the best and worst were of the night.
Well, it's about time we get an expert around here.
Because we're not. People, though, watch the Super Bowl, obviously, just to see the commercials. I know people that don't really care about the game.
Well, this was the first year with the majority of the commercials, in my opinion, failed.
You didn't like them, yeah.
No, advertisers spent big bucks for a 30-second spot. I think it was $3 million.
I think it was $3 million as well. And some were like 2 minutes long.
Oh, yeah. Did you notice that one long one?
The Chrysler one.
Yeah, the Chrysler one. So which ones were the most effective? Roger Hurni joins us from the newsroom with the scoop. Roger, good morning, Roger.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Now, who are you with?
Off Madison Ave.
Oh, okay. So you know all about this stuff, right?
Well, you know, they say I do.
Now, overall, what was your impression? Were you disappointed or impressed?
Actually, Rick, I'm with you. I was completely disappointed. I thought it was a very bad year overall. They were hyping it to be really big, but pretty much disappointing. It was a struggle to pick three really great spots, I thought.
Yeah. Okay, but you did manage to pick three, and I will say I think everyone can agree on your #1 pick was with the Volkswagen commercial.
Oh, yeah, absolutely charming, and this spot was incredible. The charm of the kid and using the force, and then his father sort of coming into the rescue at the end. I think this will be the only spot that people talk about around the water cooler, so to speak, in the morning.
So was that longer than 30 seconds? Was that a 60 or was that a 30? Do you know?
That looks like a 30 to me.
Was it a 30 to you?
Yeah.
What about that, you know, that dog sitting one? I mean, I remember that. That was kind of impressionable. And at least you got the word it was Bud Light. I mean, you knew that.
Yeah, and that was another great spot, only because it was a nice surprise. I mean, that was really interesting. You didn't know what he was going to do with the dogs. And finally, when you see the dogs serving the alcohol, that became the charm of the whole spot, because we hadn't seen sort of dogs in that situation before, and dogs have been used sort of to death.
So in your top three, though, you had Volkswagen and you like Career Builder.
I did like Career Builder. I like it because they've been able to use the monkeys over and over again and find a way to keep it fresh and exciting every single time. And I give them kudos for that.
Okay, and also the Coke commercial, the border crossing one, that was kind of cute.
Yeah, you know what? I think this will fly under everybody's radar, and maybe because I spent some time in Moscow, I have a little bit more of a, kinship to this idea. But Coke is one of the very few products in the world that can actually sort of unite people. That's this common denominator around countries around the world.
Yeah.
And they just did this spot with a lot of charm and a lot of great production value. And I don't think it's one a lot of people are talking about, but it's still a fantastic spot.
I don't remember that one. I can't.
I do remember that one.
Okay. Now, your worst three, and now Motorola, Empower the People, you don't like that?
I don't. Apple came out with a commercial called 1984 in 1984. They started the whole Super Bowl frenzy of commercials, and this is clearly a swipe at them. And that's okay to do, but if you're going to do that against one of the best commercials of all time, you're going to need to make it 100 times better than that commercial. They could have done a lot of other things to kind of get their point across and not do a pale comparison of probably the most famous commercial of all time.
Right.
Okay, and lastly, Best Buy with Justin Bieber and Ozzy Osbourne. It didn't work. I did not like this one either.
I don't know what they were thinking. Quite frankly, how can we appeal to, baby boomers / the older Gen X, and how can we appeal to, 12-year-old girls? This went nowhere. It made no sense whatsoever. It was just celebrity for celebrity's sake.
Yeah.
I was also kind of offended by the Doritos commercials with their licking fingers and licking pants. I mean, I thought that was pretty disgusting.
I think Doritos in past years have certainly done a much, much better job. I actually didn't mind the licking fingers too much because it was new and irreverent, but the pug attacking the door, that was just so predictable. You knew that's what was going to happen.
That was, yeah.
And then in the Pepsi commercials where they were hitting people in the face and stuff.
They weren't as good as past years.
Yeah, slapstick humor is, I think, never a good road to go down for most advertisers. Right. It's usually not done well.
Right.
There's very, very few examples where you can say, hey, that was worth the slapstick.
Okay.
Comment.
Okay.
Roger Hurni, thank you so much.
It's not a problem whatsoever. Thank you.
Appreciate
you, Roger. It. He also didn't like the Snickers one. We didn't really touch on that, but was that the one? That was the one with Roseanne, right? Yeah. I didn't really care.
Oh, yeah.
Last year was Betty White. How can you, do as well as Betty White again? I don't know. Okay.